Hello? No way I'm live. Guys, we're doing the Safari Zone. I was actually going to do this yesterday, but I had some unfortunate circumstances happen, and I wasn't able to like do much yesterday, or like set this up yesterday. Let me tweet out the stream. All right. What's up, Matisse? Welcome in, Matisse. I always forget what it is. Yeah, it's a lot of handhelds. Hopefully everything is like well visible. This one is unfortunately a front lit game, so it's always gonna look not great. And hopefully I can actually pull this off, because I've never done 7 times hunting before. So hopefully this works. So the unfortunate thing that happened the other day, and I was tweeting about this. So this game over here is a fake copy of Fire Red. And when I was going to set my games up for Safari Week on like, I think it was like Saturday or something, I accidentally dropped this game. And a piece of the casing of the cartridge broke off. And I was like, oh, it's probably no big deal. It doesn't look like an important piece. And I don't know if the piece was important or not. But when I put my game in and started playing it, after a few seconds of playing it, the game like froze. And then it restarted the save file, which has never happened before. I've had my game like freeze while playing it, but that's the first time it's restarted the save file. And that's something that happens with fake cartridges. If something goes wrong, the save file usually gets deleted. But I've never had issues with it until now. And I've had it for a very long time, needless to say. So I had to replay through to get to the Safari Zone. So I'm not fully played through that game yet. But, so I had to be doing that instead of, like, doing other things, which was really unfortunate. And now I'm, like, worried about it. I think I fixed it. I glued the piece back on. I don't even know if that was the issue. But, and pardon me while this is taking me forever to get situated. I'm very new to this. It's just gonna be something I'm gonna have to get used to. But, yeah, now it's one of those things where it's like, you know, when you're shiny hunting and whatnot... where's my bike? When you're shiny hunting, there's always a risk that a game can, like, freeze or something if you, like, hit your game the wrong way or whatever. Like, that's always been a possibility. But the scary part about that game is that if that happens, there's a risk the save file gets deleted again. And if that happens, I won't be able to use it anymore for Safari Week. So I'm kind of worried about that. I think I can, like, make sure it won't do that again, but it's going to take some time, and I'm just not ready for it. But I know it's a fake copy. I even ordered an authentic copy of Japanese Fire Red, just in case. So that should be coming pretty soon. I don't remember this place. It's been like a year since I've been here. There's one encounter. All right, let me enable White Flute. That's the wrong thing. White Flute. Use. All right, hopefully this isn't hard to do. I've never done this before. Rip my Wi-Fi bills. What do you mean? Yeah, the odds are 1 in 8192. What's up, Thor? Thank you for the shiny luck. It didn't happen yesterday. It happened a few days ago, but essentially, yeah, I had to be like playing through Fire Red in order to like be able to do this. The easiest solution would be to just swap it out for like a Ruby or something. Like I could do that. I have Ruby played through, but there's a lot of things in the Fire Red Leaf Green Safari Zone I want to get. I'm pretty sure I used white fluid on everything. Okay, except for this game. All right, first set of encounters. Hopefully, we do pretty well. I gotta really be paying attention to this game, though, because this is just gonna be something to get used to. It's always like a little muscle memory thing to get used to. But yeah, I've never had issues with this game, assuming I never put it in a DS, because that was like the main issue, is that in a DS, it like wouldn't work properly. But now I'm kind of worried because it feels like there can be issues. At least for the most part, I can actually tell the colors on that screen, but it is... Oh, I just threw a ball. Okay, won't worry, certain. Any luck yet? In 14 encounters? No. What's up, Endless Night? Welcome in. Encounter power water level 3. What about it? Von Blood, thank you for the shiny luck. No, I have not gotten shiny Mew yet. I had to put it on hold for Safari Week. Alright. I'm doing this the wrong way. I'm supposed to just be going left and right on these games, and I'm like, not. What's up, Crispy Bacon? Welcome in. The thing I'm noticing the most about running the Sapphire 2 is the fact that I have to hit A up there. I don't have to hit A on the DS's. That's just something to get used to. Also, this thing does slide around a bit, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Yeah, Safari Week, but it's a little early because I'm gonna miss the last few days. So hopefully I get some good luck. Okay, I think I definitely need to favor the Sapphire over. And if I find that we're like not getting super fast encounters, I will remove the Sapphire. Do you collect Pokemon cards? And if you do, can we see your collection? I've gone through a lot of my Pokemon cards on stream and stuff. I might even have a video on my YouTube channel about, like, my collection and stuff. It wouldn't be something I'd do right now. It'd have to be, like, a dedicated card stream, because I'm already in the middle of something. Takes a while to, like, show off all the Pokemon cards I have. I could probably move these over just slightly so they're a little more centered. Actually, never mind. Make sure there's no llama reflection in that game. This is a bit of a lot, but, you know, we gotta mess with it for a bit until we're certain we can do this. Happy Safari Week, yes. Perfect thing to have in the background while brainstorming a 720 card cube. Brainstorming a 720 card cube. I don't know what that means. The encounters in Sapphire aren't like that bad. Oh, I just threw a ball at that. Okay, I need to get used to that. I've thrown 2 balls already, and this is an otter, so it'll probably get caught. Oh, it didn't. Good. Save it for the shiny ones to get caught. I'm kind of getting something now. And hopefully everything is like pretty visible except for this game. There's not really much I can do about that because I had to mess with the focus on my camera. I could get it so that the front games are like really in focus, but then the back games are like really out of focus. So I kind of settled for everything is slightly in focus. So that's what we're doing. And then we need to gauge when these games start ding-donging because that's when we like reset them. I did not get Mew. If you've been following the streams, you will know that I said I wanted to get Mew before Monday to get Safari Week going, and if I didn't, I would put it on hold. We put it on hold. And if you've been watching the streams or the stream VODs, I don't do Mew off stream. So if I don't get it on a stream VOD or on stream like or whatever, I did not get it. That's just how it's gonna be. Did I already add one when I shouldn't have? I think I'm off a little bit. I think I need to run from these first and then finish this encounter. I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself on the bottom games. All visible except Sapphire. I mean, it's visible. It's just hard to tell what's going on. But that's just, I mean, there's not really much you can do with a frontlit game. Are there any ways to increase your odds in these games? No. That's one of the best things about Gen 3, is that there's no ways to increase your odds. At least, like, legitimate means. There's no methods. In Heart Gold Soul Silver, the only method is Masuda method. There's no other methods. So if you're not breeding, you're doing it full odds. You only saw one stream before this? Shoot charm glitch? I said legitimate means. I don't know. I guess you didn't hear that? Dude, I always try to be as specific as possible so people don't try to poke holes in my logic, and then people still try to poke holes in my logic even though I already covered them. Technically it is. It's illegitimate, but it's legal. We've had this conversation many times. There's a difference between legitimacy and legality. And I've explained it thoroughly many times on stream. So, no, it's not legitimate, but it is legal. It's exploitation, which should not be considered legitimate. A cube with a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards will be played over and over again with new and exciting results each time you pick a card. Interesting. What's up, Lux? Welcome in. We're hunting in the Safari Zone. Just whatever decides to stay. The only things I don't want, like don't need from here are technically Tauros, but if I caught a Tauros, that'd be incredible. Slowbro, but like honestly, same thing applies. If I catch a Slowbro, that'd be incredible. And Nidoran male and Nidorino. Those are the only ones we don't need. Anything else that shows up shiny, we want. I should do an hour of this and then an hour without the sapphire and see like how many more encounters I get. It's gonna be kind of hard to gauge because we didn't like rush into this, but it might be a scenario where like 7 might be too much. I feel like I'm getting like a groove going, but I feel like it might just be easier to run 6 and just focus more on like Kanto. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I would love an Oddish. I would, like, Pikachu would be insane if I somehow got that. And then, like, the only one that's, like, not that crazy for me personally is Natu. But I still need it, so it's, like, whatever. But, like, dude, knocking some stuff out of Kanto would just be so nice. My bad for bringing this up. No, it's not. It's not. I'm not like annoyed you brought it up or anything. I'm just saying like I try to cover my tracks and you're like trying to poke holes in something that I've already covered. You love streams. There were a lot of screens, but not like emulator. But we're like, wait, like this one. Oh, where it's a bunch of like. It's like you're looking at him through a camera.
Put a smile on my face.
Chris Jaunty, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like watching people do this too. Obviously, there does come a time where like it is a little hard to see some of the screens because of how like zoomed out I gotta be. But I do like I love watching Absol streams where he's doing it in camera and whatnot. There's something about it. A lot of people say it's like old school, it's nostalgic, but I don't think it's an old school thing. I think it's just a different style. Like the difference really is just like capture card versus not capture card, and it's just like I feel like that shouldn't be a requirement for like getting into like shiny hunting. You shouldn't need to spend hundreds of dollars just to like be able to screen record your games or use emulators. Like, if you got the games, like, just throw open, like, an iPhone or something and start recording them. I think it's cool. Your brain might die Masudoing Cherubi. Cherubi? What game is this in? If you're going for Cherubi and, like, BDSP or, like, Sinnoh, I would say just go for, like, a honey tree hunt. I feel like those would be really cool. You get that fire red cartridge squared away. I haven't messed with it yet, but I have not had issues since. Part of me is thinking that was just a really, like, random, like, I did bang it around by dropping it, and that could have been what caused it. But I do think, like, my game has always been like that. I just haven't had an issue with it. But I will definitely look into, like, putting something in those edges to, like, hold it in better. I might just, like, get, like, some super glue and just, like, glob some super glue in those like sides, wait for them to dry, and then like have it so that that's what holds the cartridge in better. Because I think the idea of the game like being in the cartridge being in the Game Boy, I think that holds it together a lot better. It's just not perfect. So I'll definitely look into it, and I appreciate the suggestion. I was a little annoyed that like no one really like suggested anything. I had one sarcastic comment that just said get an unauthentic cartridge, and I was like, do people really have like that much hatred towards like fake copies? Because like I'm not gonna like condone getting fake copies. It's risky. You shouldn't like do that. But this was like a cartridge that my friend gave me back in elementary school, and it's just like a sentimental cartridge for me, even though it's a fake copy. So I didn't want to just like get rid of it. And like it still works, it's just the casing kind of sucks. Oh, I threw another ball at this thing. I'm gonna catch so many freaking Pokemon in Sapphire. How have I not caught? I've chucked 3 balls so far and haven't caught anything. Hot glue is an option for electronics less permanent. The thing about hot glue is I don't really trust it staying in there, but I guess it probably doesn't matter too much. I don't have like a 3D printer or anything, so I have to use like some sort of glue that I can like glob there to like have it dry and then be like a hardened thing that holds it in. What's up, Clement? Thank you for the good luck. Can those Pokemon be transferred up? The Pokemon on the Fate copy or just in general? I think everything here can be transferred. The main thing you gotta watch, so like I would never recommend purchasing Fate copies of Gen 3 games. I just would never recommend it. Because there's always kind of some caveat to like it. Like it sounds like, oh, it's a good deal, I'll buy it. But a lot of the times they don't save properly. A lot of the times they get corrupted for like basic things. Like a big one that a lot of people have trouble with is that Fate copies will corrupt when you try to trade with another save file. And if that happens, you're kind of screwed. The only thing that is bad with this, outside of what just happened, where I like banged it up and then it restarted the save file, if I try to use it in a DS, like in one of these, oh, you can't really see it, but one of the bottom slots of a DS, instead of a Game Boy Advance, it'll restart the save file 100% of the time. So I can't transfer them up directly from that file, but I can trade them to an authentic copy and then send them up. Like I don't have issues with like trading or anything. How many steps do you get? I don't think it tells you how many steps you get in Hoenn. It's 600 in Kanto. MKED, thank you for the shiny luck. See, I think the issue, I'm just not used to this. I'm like trying to like get into another encounter on the bottom games before like running from the encounters on the top games, and that's what's like throwing me off the most. Click on the hunt, thank you. The Fate copy was the question? Yeah, so they can be transferred up as long as I don't do it directly from the copy. I have to trade them to the unauthentic first. It's like no different than like different language copies. I can't transfer up directly from my Spanish Emeralds because they're different language. I have to trade them to like my main Leaf Green or main Fire Red first. It's just because like the different languages aren't like compatible with each other. I bet if I had a Japanese or a Spanish like Gen 4 game, I probably could, but it's no big deal to just like trade them over. Okay, I can definitely like get something going here. I think the strategy is to... So we do the bottom games, and then we do the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, then the Sapphire, add to the counter, and then when we run from the Sapphire first, because by the time we run from the Sapphire, then the run button auto comes up on the Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Oh, and I'm also already messing up this thing. Just gonna take some getting used to. All that unluckiness from you is gonna accumulate into Shiny Kangaskhan. Shiny Kangaskhan would be really cool if I caught it. I'm not the kind of person who like targets the rare stuff, because I can't be bothered to like do 100 phases just to fail a shiny. But if it happens, that'd be awesome. I'd still be devastated if it ran, even though it's like nearly guaranteed to run. I definitely would probably try bait strat on it though. Counter's going up pretty fast. Yeah, it's the power of not only 7 times hunting, but Safari Zone. Safari Zone, you like, as weird, as insignificant as it sounds, just like not throwing your Pokemon out in battle makes the encounter rate, like, it really adds up. But I'm also using like 6 games, so or 7 games. I definitely want to do like an hour of this and then see what it's like without the Sapphire. Because if this does, like, indeed slow me down enough, I would prefer to just focus more on the Kanto Pokemon. As much as I want more Oddishes, I only have one Oddish. Like, that's not a joke. I know a lot of people don't like getting Oddish. Oddish is, like, the main thing I want from Hoenn. I have one. And I would need 4 more for the whole line plus gender differences. Who thinks whenever you find a purple Wurmple, your always meme is it? You always name it Jelly Bean. Who thinks whenever you find a purple Wurmple, you always name it Jelly? Do people always name it Jelly Bean? I wouldn't even know. Your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct? I was a little disappointed I didn't get the one thing I wanted. But, I mean, the Zelda game looks pretty cool. I think it's a missed opportunity they didn't name it Legend of Link, because that would have been hilarious if they did. Other than that, the Mario RPG looks kind of cool, and the Mario Party looks kind of cool. But I've only ever played one Mario RPG game, like Mario Luigi, and it was Bowser's Inside Story. And it's not really, like, I really enjoyed it as a kid. It's not like a series I was, like, itching to go back to, though. But I feel like the Mario Party game might be a cool game to get just in case you, like, have people over. You want to do, like, a multiplayer game? It's always a good time. A new Zelda game? Yeah, it's like a new... So, do you guys remember the Link's Awakening remake that they did, like, a few years ago? Where it's, like, in that toy-ish-esque style? They're doing, like, a new Zelda game that's like that, but instead, like, Link is captured, and you have to play as Zelda. So it's, like, role reversal. Which I feel like, honestly, I'm shocked it took them this long to make a game where you play as Zelda. It would have... I feel like so many people were, like, expecting it from Tears of the Kingdom, and it just didn't happen. Hope you get the shiny Execute. Very cool line of shinies. I hope if I get an Execute, I catch it, because I have failed 3 of them in a row. What's my favorite shiny in the Safari Zone? Like, favorite shiny I've caught in the Safari Zone, or just best looking one out of all of them? Out of the ones I'm hunting, because obviously you can get, like, so many freaking Pokemon in Heart Gold Soul Silver. What's up, Jans? And Jaden, welcome in. Another thing that I need to realize, it honestly might be faster to do 6 times hunting. We'll definitely have to test it. I don't know about, like, I don't know if it'll be significantly faster, but it might be, like, more consistent. I threw bait. The reason why it'd be more consistent is that I'll do my old setup where the frontlit game will be this cartridge, and then one of these will be, actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Because then I can, like, do it all in, like, when I have 3 Game Boys, I can do it all, like, a lot faster, essentially. It's hard to explain. Because, like, with this one, I have to do, like, these 3 games, and since the DSs are so wide, I have to reach over and do the one on the far right. And then go to the top ones, and then do that. But when I do the 6 times hunting and use the Game Boy on one of the Fire Reds, It's literally like 2 motions, so it might be a lot more consistent. So we'll definitely have to put it to the test. But I wanted to definitely try like 7 times hunting because it's the first time I've ever been able to like actually do it. Because I got this 2DS this year. Jaden with the watch streak. Just watch the trailer. It looks good. Yeah, it makes me want to get the Link's Awakening game and like play that first, low key. I haven't played like that many Zelda games, but there hasn't been a Zelda game that I didn't like that I've played. So like, definitely a series I'm into. It's not like it's one of those series where like it's like Kirby. Like I don't get every single Kirby game that comes out. Like far from it. But every time I do get a Kirby game, it's always like really fun. So it's like if I see one that like really catches my eye, I'm like, all right, let's mess with this. Do you have the guide of how to catch Safari and Fireleaf Fiend? If you're talking about the bait strat, I do have a tab. I have a bookmark for it. I used it in 2022 for a Parasect and failed it, but it stayed for 24 turns, which was insane. Yes, a lot of screens. You're gonna get the Mario and Luigi game and the new Mario Party game just because you have almost all Mario games. Yeah, definitely the Mario and Luigi game looks cool. And like I know like everyone's like super hyped for Metroid 4 or Metroid Prime 4. I've played one Metroid game and I bet you guys actually maybe you could guess what is the only Metroid game I've played. What do you guys think is the only Metroid game I've ever played? Oh, I added that a little early, but it's fine. Are there any ones you don't need from the Safari Zone that'd be dupes? Nidoran Male, Slowbro, and technically Tauros, but I'd still be fine to catch a Tauros. So it'd be really cool. Dread? No. Wasn't Dread, like, really good, though? The only Metroid game I've ever played is Other M. And it was, like, regarded as, like, one of, if not the worst Metroid games of all time. It was just, like, obviously, I had first heard of Samus from Smash. So it wasn't like a series I kept up with, but by the time I like wanted to try a Metroid game, that was just the newest one. So I was like, so that's what we got, my brother and I. Am I able to focus on 5 screens at once? I'm not sure if you're good at counting, but there are indeed 7 screens. And the answer to that is it's a rocky start, but you eventually just get into like muscle memory. That's just how shiny hunting is. I don't think I ever finished the answer to the what would be dupes. In Fire Red, Leaf Green, it's pretty much just Tauros. Out of everything in the Safari Zone in Fire Red, Leaf Green, it's Tauros, Parasect. Technically, actually, Chansey wouldn't be a dupe. Tauros, Parasect, and Nidoran Male and Nidorino. Like anything Nidoran Male. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. What I'm hunting for is Slowbro is the only dupe I can get, but it's the rarest thing. By like a lot. And then, and yeah, that's it. I need everything in Sapphire Safari Zone. Like, I need most things. I really want to get a Nidoran female. I've only ever seen one shiny Nidoran female. So for those who don't know, I'm running 2 Fire Reds, 2 Leaf Greens. Essentially, they have the same encounter rates for Nidorans, but Fire Red, it's male, and Leaf Green, it's female. So they have equal chance of appearing. I just ding-dong on this game. 630. That ding-dong pretty fast. But essentially, I've only seen one Nidoran female for 5 Nidoran males. And the Nidoran female I got was a 5% on Fire Red. Leaf Green has never seen a Nidoran female. And it is, like, very... It's the most common thing if you include the Nidorina in Leaf Green Safari Zone. Okay, the ding-donging might be an issue on this one. Because, like, if you look at these games, I still have more than half the steps before I run out. Yeah, I might just go back to 6 times hunting. It might just be easier. Might be, like, just keep doing what we're doing until we get more things we need, and then focus on Hoenn. Because if I focus on Hoenn, I can bring in, like, emeralds, too. Like, I can have, like, multiple rubies, multiple sapphires, like, multiple emeralds. And that, I think that would go over better, but I'll finish up this, like, 1200 or whatever. Shiny Pinsir would be an absolute trophy to get. Shiny Pinsir is probably the coolest Safari Zone shiny, in my opinion. Like, obviously, Chansey is, like, the craziest one for most people. But I think Pinsir, like, it being rare, hard to catch, and, like... And this is no shade towards, like, Chansey shiny. I like Chansey shiny, but Pinsir looks incredible in Gen 3. It looks so cool in Gen 3. Venomoth would be really cool, too. But unfortunately, I can't find Pinsir where I'm at. I can get Venomoth, though. Venomoth would be crazy. I am off again. See, that's another thing. I need to, like, get... See, we gotta, like, get these back synced up. Now I do the encounters on these. So that I don't end up, like, messing myself up with the counter. Found a Shelfa Staravia while back after you found and failed a shiny Sliggoo. Well, congrats on the Staravia. Tauros and Parasect are really cool, 100% agree. Well, no, those are the ones I don't need, are Tauros and Parasect. I mean, like, Nidoran Male is cool. I don't need it, though. I have 5 of them. If they don't announce anything for Pokemon, we're all gonna be stuck with the Violet, Scarlet for another year. I'm a little surprised there wasn't anything on Legends ZA. I know it's a Nintendo Direct and it wasn't a Pokemon Presents, like, obviously, but they typically reveal info on the already announced Pokemon games for, like, their E3 Directs, which would have been this one. And yeah, to be, like, how many months in? Like 5 months since the reveal of Legends ZA and still know absolutely nothing about it is kind of weird. So maybe there'll be like a Pokemon Presents soon, but I don't know. Pokemon Presents to me are kind of too much. They're kind of too much. It's all just like mobile game ads and then like one cool announcement. I gotta send a text really quick. Okay. There is another direct in like 3 months. What, the September one? Again, I still my point still stands. I think it's weird that we're like 5 months in with no info really on that game. That's my issue with like CG trailers. Like, it was cool getting the announcement of Legends ZA, but it's like to like know about a game for this long but know nothing about it is kind of annoying. Like, at least with Legends Arceus's trailer, like, we got some like old like early version gameplay to like kind of gauge what the game is gonna be like. We have nothing like that in Legends ZA. We just have no idea how that game's gonna go. Pokemon Presents suffer through mobile stuff to get some okay news at the end. Yeah. It just sucks because they'll market it. They'll be like, all right, this Presents will be 40 minutes long, and everyone gets super hyped. Like, dude, they're going to reveal so much with 40 minutes. That's a long time. And then, like, 90% of it is, like, stuff that you would just see them announce on Twitter any other day of the week. And it's like, why are we saving this for a Presents? Like, you get the Pokemon Masters, you get the Pokemon Cafe Remix, Pokemon Sleep event, Pokemon Go event. It's like all this stuff that's like you literally will see on Twitter literally any day of the year. So like, who cares that it's in like a Presents? And then yeah, there'll be like one meaningful trailer at the end. And that'll be it. Muscle memory has failed you a few times, making you reset over 3 shiny legendaries. That sucks. I only reset over 1 shiny, and it was not because of muscle memory. It's because I just was stupid. Also, I'm like off again. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to ditch the Sapphire, I think. I'm getting like so thrown off with these like encounters. 5 months is nothing. It took them 7 years for Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, but there was a legitimate reason for it, and I feel like most people would have been fine with it, with the reason. Metroid Prime 4 was hey, we announced this game a while back, and we've been developing it, and we realized that it's actually terrible, and we want the game to be good, so we're rebuilding it from the ground up. Do you guys not remember that? They, like, in one of the directs, they literally said, like, we aren't happy with this game, so we're, like, rebuilding it from the ground up. Which is why it took them so long. Like, they at least gave an update. Also, Elder Scrolls 6 got teased, like, 7 years ago, and there's still not even any info on it. At least Metroid Prime has a teaser as a trailer now. And it's coming out, like, next year. When did Elder Scrolls 6 get announced? That was such a stupid thing. They announced the next Elder Scrolls game before they were even planning on making it. 2018. Okay, so 6 years ago, my bad. 6 years ago, and we don't even have a trailer for it because they aren't even like ready to show a trailer because they literally started working on it like last year. So it took them 5 years to like start working on it, which I just think is so stupid. Gaming companies shouldn't do that. Like Metroid Prime 4, they like were working on it and intended to release it in a reasonable time, but they wanted the game to be good, so they like took as much time as they needed to like make the game good. And they even let people know that. Like that's a totally different scenario. Elder Scrolls 6 CGI trailer. It was okay, like yeah, CGI trailer, but it was literally just like showing like a landscape. Like it had nothing to do with the game. You could have said it was for literally anything. Isn't there going to be another Pokemon Direct? I haven't heard anything of it. I mean, eventually, yeah, but I haven't heard anything of it. Do you have to play the other Metroid Prime games to understand 4? I have no idea. I've never played any of the Metroid Prime games. Problem is that it's a possibility Pokemon is waiting for us to get info for the new Nintendo console so they can let us know that it'll be on the new console instead. I feel like, well, the original trailer showed Nintendo Switch, so I think they're going to release it on both. But that could, I don't think that's the main reason, but that could be one of the reasons. Like, it's going to be released on Switch. So them waiting for the next console to be released, unless part of their announcement is, oh, by the way, this will also be released on the next Nintendo console. But I feel like they wouldn't need to do that. Does anyone in chat know that if you need to play the other Metroid Prime games to understand Prime 4? Yeah, definitely. I think I will actually be faster with just 6 games. I might try to get to 1400 before I swap it. Just because that'll be a nice number to go off of multiples of 6s moving forward. Pretty sure you do, since the trailer shows Psylux, a returning character from previous Metroid Prime games. You just got a third shiny Burmy within 24 hours in X, and it's finally female. Nice. In Pokemon Go, I've had the opposite luck. I've seen like 3 shiny Trash Burmies, 3 or 4 shiny Trash Burmies, and they're all male. I need a female. Oh, wait. No, that is the same issue you've had. No, I was thinking of my perfects. My perfect IV Burmies, they're all female. So like I need one of them to be male for a Mothim. I need to check. I need to check what gender my Doduo is that I got last year. I think it's female. It is... I was right, it's female. So if we get a Doduo, we want it We would prefer if it's male. No, I have not gotten Shiny Mew yet. It's gonna be the new "when is Safari Week" question, I'm sure. I'm gonna have to put a banner at the top that says, "I have not gotten Shiny Mew yet." If I got Shiny Mew, it would be in the last stream VOD. So if it's not in there, I did not get it. Because I do not hunt Mew off stream. There are certain hunts that I, like, intentionally only do on stream, and Mew is one of them. Now, Safari Week, I'll do some Safari Week off stream. But if I get something in Safari Week, it'll be either on the wins or fails thing at the bottom, so that's how you know if I got something in Safari Week. Yeah, I definitely think we're going slower, and it could just be because I'm not used to this, but I think it's also the positioning of the games. I want to say before we easily got like 1,500 an hour, and it's been 52 minutes, and we're not even hitting 1,000 yet. Did I not get an encounter on this game? I don't think 1,000 is a multiple of 700 though, so, or of 7. So I think I gotta go till 1,400 before I switch, which is fine. I'd rather be more efficient and like go for things like, as cool as it would be to catch a Natu. Am I right? We'll have Safari Weeks where we focus mainly on Hoenn. We just gotta really get like some good luck this year. I just went near this one. It fled? No 30Ks, man. No more 30Ks. If we go 20K, it's gotta be only one time. I mean, 2022, our longest phase wasn't even 20K. We gotta get, like, a decent amount of under odds, a decent amount of over odds, but not super over odds, and then just a good amount overall. That's the goal. The goal is the same as every year. It's to catch 3 shinies, which I've only succeeded 1 year so far, and I think I caught 7. So we, like, completely killed it. And then every other year, I caught 1 and then 2. Why are your SP screens that bright? Mine have only had dark screens as your blue SP. It's because it's an AGS. These are AGS. Well, these are game DS lights. But these are AGS 101 screens, and then this is an AGS 001. It's called AGS still for both of them, right? Essentially, it's just, this is a front lit screen where the light comes from like the bottom and like it shines on the screen. And if I like hit this, it turns the light off and it looks like that. And then these are backlit screens where the light's behind the screen, so like most modern technology, so you can see the screens. I'm surprised I haven't had one of these Slowpokes run yet. I'm pretty sure Slowpoke's still like a 30 or 40 flea rate %. Like I think it's 30. I think Slowpoke's 30. Slowpoke's like the thing that's like least likely to flee in the area I'm hunting in Heart Gold Soul Silver. Everything else is like 40 or 50%. It's ridiculous. Heart Gold Soul Silver's Safari Zones have like brutal flee rates. Most things in Kanto, it's like 15% or like 20% or something. It's like Heart Gold Soul Silver, you're lucky to get like a 30% flee rate. Everything else is like 40s and 50s. It's so crazy. Are you familiar with any Valve games like Half-Life or Portal? Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I've played, I actually bought Portal not too long ago for $4 on the Xbox Live Store because it was on sale for something. So I've been playing through that, and then like a really long time ago, I've played Portal 2. But I've never played Half-Life. Double 5% Nidoran. What's up, Mike Breaks? Welcome in. Man, I told myself I needed to do the Sapphire first and then the Heart Gold Soul Silver, and I just have not done that, like, at all. Isn't it crazy that we're already an eighth of the odds? It hasn't even been an hour. It's the power of Safari Week. Adam got 96% Shiny Lucky Sloth. Unfortunate. Not a Shundo. You gave me the 90, it was 96 or 98 Cottony. I need to do this with Mew. See, the unfortunate reality of that is that that would cost me like probably $1,000 to be able to do that with Mew. Emerald is very expensive, and I only have 2 copies. If I had more copies, I would definitely do it with more copies, but I don't plan to drop $150 for... I'll make one hunt slightly easier. What gender do you need for Doduo? Both of them, but I would prefer male right now. I only have one and it's female. So male would be better, but I still need a female one. Isn't Japanese Emerald cheap? What is cheap for you? Because Japanese Emerald is still like 50, 60 bucks, and to me that's not worth it to make, again, one hunt a little faster. You know? Yeah, it's cheap for Emerald. It's not cheap for a friggin' game from 2004. If I was buying it because I didn't own Emerald and I wanted it, yes, that's totally reasonable. But it's to make one singular shiny hunt just a little bit quicker. That is not worth it. Wish Tauros shiny didn't change. It looks so much better there. Yeah. Yeah, Tauros' shiny got a little butchered in the Gen 6 games. And Pinsir shiny got a little bit butchered in the Gen 4 games. I think I'm gonna ding dong on Sapphire again. Wait, what am I at for these games? Oh, we still have, dude. See, we still have so many steps. on Fire Red Leaf Green. Like, we're not even close to running out on Fire Red Leaf Green. Buy so many games at once. It's so that I have a higher likelihood of finding a shiny in the time that we're streaming. Because if I was doing this on one game, man, we'd probably be only like 100 encounters in or something. Actually, we'd be like 120 encounters in or something like that. You impressed how I got that many? You just buy them. Most of these games were pretty cheap because I bought them before the market went into another realm of ridiculousness. I guess we're checking a ball at this slow bro. Run, run, run! Dang it. Didn't run. Do I have something I want above all else? Technically, Nidoran female. But, like, not much more than anything else. I kind of need everything, like, kind of equally. And progress is progress regardless. What have you paid per game? So this copy was free because it's a fake copy, and my friend gave it to me back in elementary school because he couldn't get it to work for him. These two were like 30 bucks each, bought from GameStop's online site. This one I bought when the prices were starting to go up, so this one was 40 bucks. These two, Heart Gold Soul Silver, were like, they were either $10 or $15 each. I bought them thinking they were fake copies, and they ended up being authentic, so I'm assuming the seller just had no idea that they were authentic, or just didn't care how much they, like, didn't know how much they were worth. So, that, and then the Sapphire, I think I also got for like 30 bucks. Dr. Octopus Best Shiny Hunter? Are you referring to me? I only have 2 arms. And there's not even 8 games here, so either way, it doesn't make sense. Be lucky if you find a GBA or DS copy of Pokemon under 150. GBA? Yeah, you can find like Rubies and Sapphire and DS's. It's only specific games. Rubies and Sapphires and Fire Reds and actually I don't know about Fire Reds and Leaf Greens. Rubies and Sapphires go for like I think 80, 90 bucks nowadays. I mean I bought Diamond not too long ago for $40. So, it's really only specific ones. It's like Emerald, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Those are the ones that are expensive. And Black 2, White 2. Maybe Redemption Executes. Yeah, Execute. Yeah, I failed 3 Executes in a row, so I need to reclaim one. I've never reclaimed a failed Safari Zone shiny, by the way. I have caught one and then failed one later, but I have never failed a Safari Zone shiny and then caught one later on. Because the only Safari Zone shiny fails I've gotten were either ones I've just never seen again, like Slowbro or Parasect, or they're ones that I caught originally and then failed later on and then never either never saw again or never still failed them. Like Krabby. Like last year was the first year I saw Krabby shiny and I caught the first one and then I found another one and failed it. So and then that was just it. Execute, I caught the first one and then failed 3 more. Overall, I actually haven't failed like a ton of Safari Zone shinies. I've done pretty well. The issue is my shiny luck just in general is pretty bad. So like 2 of my Safari weeks I've done, I've just like didn't really find any shinies. So there like wasn't much to fail. Last year you caught Nidorino in Paris ×2 in Fire Red. Two Nidorinos is pretty cool. Nidorino is one of those like kind of like a coin flip. I think it's like a weighted coin flip. Like Execute, I think. I'll have to double check. Where you're like a little more likely to fail it than to catch it. Oh, there's the ding dong again. Alright, we're gonna go to 1400 and then I'm gonna ditch the Sapphire. Yeah, almost at 1400. It's the power of Safari Week. And White Flute and Illuminate. And 7 games. No, last year I did awful. It was 2022 I popped off. First year I did it, and last year were awful. Some of the worst shiny luck I've ever had. 2022 was like the best shiny luck I've ever had. So I guess I'm due for a crazy year again, because it's like every other year. Bought some games in the previous week. Ruby Sapphire 60 to 90. Fire Leaf Green you found for 120 to 150 English versions. Ended up buying Spanish Leaf Green for 35, even though you don't speak Spanish. That's pretty cheap for Spanish. When I bought my Spanish Emeralds, they were cheaper than English, but like not much cheaper. Like we're talking like maybe 10, 20 bucks cheaper. I don't even think 20, like 10 bucks cheaper, really. Oh, only Paris was 2 times. I see. I just read that wrong. I do need Paris, but it's not something I really target in the Safari Zone because you can do 100% encounter rate for it in Mount Moon. So it's like, why would I bother with Safari Zone? Your ears are dying the moment you join. I would recommend turning your volume down because no one else has complained about the volume. That's on your end, buddy. You did? Well, that's good.
Does put a smile on my face.
Beck, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Vex over here joining the stream with his volume full blast and is blaming me for it. It's crazy. Or just stating it, but it sounds like you're blaming it on me. Alright, almost to 1400. Yeah, I definitely think we can go faster with the 6 games and swapping the systems around a bit. Question is, do I remove one of the DSs? I might remove the 2DS. Actually, I don't know. The 2DS is fine. I'll probably remove one of the DSs then. Oh? Oh? Did you hatch an egg? More DS, more shinies. No, I'm not like adding a game. We're actually removing a game. We're just gonna swap out one of the DS's for a Game Boy because it's easier to control, and then will make me more efficient at it. That's the only thing I don't like about DS's. Like, overall, like, if you want to get, like, a system to play GBA games, DS Lites are pretty inexpensive, and they also play DS games. So, like, they're kind of the best of both worlds. The only thing is, like, if you're multi-hunting, the bottom screen definitely gets in the way for, like, being able to control more efficiently. I don't know why I did Heart Gold Soul Silver first. That's interesting. You hope this command works? If it's a command I have set up, then it will work. No, it's not. That's not a command I have set up. I've thought about doing that. I just have no idea how that works, honestly. Thanos was the real hero in that saga. He was the hero in Infinity War. Not so much in Endgame. Vec, thank you for the shiny luck. Do you know what I've noticed about Sapphire, though? I've never hunted in the Safari Zone in, like, Ruby Sapphire. When you hit A on these games, it brings up the amount of Safari balls you have left. Like, it like, slides in. This one, it just immediately... Oh, no, it does this... Oh, you know what it is? It gives you the menu while the thing is sliding in. So you can, like, run away a little faster. It's kind of interesting. Means don't justify the end. Wait, what? Are we still talking about Thanos? Thanos' motives in Endgame were kind of whack. When he's like, I'm gonna destroy this universe instead, I was like, you kind of check out at that point with him. I think we only have like 2 more sets of encounters before Sapphire's gone. Oops, it went down. There we go. Have I played Pokemon Violet? Yes. I have played every mainline Pokemon game. Dude, we still have so many more steps for Fire Leaf Green. I'm gonna reset them though. We're gonna like switch stuff around. Alright, let's turn this game off. Let's turn this game off. Let's turn... We're gonna swap everything around, because why not? This one I can just reset. That one's staying there. And then I think these games are staying the same. Your prediction is a shiny at 8.2k encounters, so like right at odds. I would say that's a good prediction, but I've only ever done that like once, so I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. Alright, so here's what we do now. We get rid of Sapphire. We carefully put this cartridge in this so that I don't have any issues with it, because I honestly don't really trust this cartridge anymore. Cause it like hangs out. Okay, that looks fine. Put that in carefully. Again, it probably already always did this. I'm just paranoid about it now. Don't worry, we'll adjust like everything so you guys can see better. I actually also need to. We're actually changing this up a lot. We removed this box. I had to use 2 different boxes because I couldn't have everything at once on the same box. We put leaf green in here. We put other leaf green in this one. We get rid of this DS. We turn this on. We turn this on. We move this over. We do this. This. Actually, I think I can put these closer too. Might make it easier for me. Make sure that volume's up all the way. This game's not getting red. Hold on. I just didn't put it in all the way. Line these up. There we go. Game's being red now. You think you're the only one watching me? I have 12 viewers right now. You're just the only one that's like in the chat right now. On Twitch, I have people in chat and on YouTube right now. So you guys found a channel a while back, got you into shiny hunting, though you're pretty casual. Hey, it's all good. That's how I started. I started very casual. There's Safari Zone in gold and silver. Unfortunate, there's not. There's just no Safari Zone. There's the Kanto one, but it's like closed down. All right. Let me angle this. No, that's honestly fine. Just make sure everything is at a good angle. Make sure our focus is good. I'm gonna zoom in on this game. So let's do like autofocus for now. So like now it's like really in focus. But how are these looking? See, these look a little not in focus, you know? So we'll do, I think it's this way actually. All right, see, that looks good. They look like they're both in focus now. So now we go on there. I gotta tighten this. All right, that looks pretty good, right? Yeah, the llama's the reflection there, but it's like like if I do this, it's even more reflective. It's like a dual reflection, and if I do this, it's like it's a bit much. So we'll just deal with this. It's a very reflective screen because it's front lit. There's just not really much I can do about that. Just make sure everything is in frame. It looks good. Currently, 3 times hunting Fireleaf Green Safari on your new GameCube setup. Nice. It'd be cool to get like a GameCube setup. Let me edit this so it says 6 times hunting in the Safari Zone now, because, you know, that's a thing. Oh, I might have to change that on Restream too, actually. Oh, no, it auto-updated. Nice. That's good. And then I will also edit it on Twitch. 6 times, there we go. Probably just be a little easier, you know, like, we wanted some efficiency going on. All right. This is the original setup. Now, before I start, I'm actually going to do like a really quick break. I also got to put away that box, so I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. You guys are putting in all your predictions. You've watched a lot of YouTube and you appreciate your content. Summer's kind of boring right now. Well, thank you. I appreciate you checking out my content, Mr. Apollo. Let's see. Good luck. You hunted Abra 2 days ago. Like, you made 1,000 encounters with Leaf Green, and then you spear in another Fire Red game to double hunt it. Yes, it came in the first double hunt try after 140 encounters. That's crazy. Congrats on the Abra. Alright. It's time. The execute hat is we're putting it on. And it'll probably be very hot, but it'll give me the luck I need to maybe find a shiny execute and catch a shiny execute. Let's do it. Digimon is better? That's crazy, man. If Digimon was better, I don't think it'd be... Or I don't think Pokemon would be the most profitable IP in the world. I hate to say. I'm not saying Digimon's bad. but I don't know if it's necessarily better. I used to have this like Digimon game. We will include that as one of the encounters once we throw a rock at it, I guess. How hot is it in my room? Very hot. That's why I have a portable fan. You can't see it. You can probably hear it, honestly. I have a portable fan to my left. If it gets hotter, my door's open right now. But if someone comes here and I don't want them to literally be a part of the conversation, I'll close my bedroom door. And it'll get a lot hotter, but I have like another thing that I can use to like make it even cooler. Hopefully. Alright, so we got an encounter on this game. So we're gonna not do an encounter on that game. I gotta change my counter to do increments of 6 instead of 7. And there we go. Got Regirock and Kyogre last night within 20 minutes of each other in Emerald, both under odds. You just got Registeel and 9-8-2 encounters. That's crazy. Congrats on those. That is insane getting 2, especially in Emerald, dude. My luck in Emerald is awful. Oh, I am not used to this setup. That's okay. We have to relearn some muscle memory, but I think overall it'll be better. Are we still talking about Digimon? 71 degrees Fahrenheit in your room? It's probably a little more than that in my room currently, but if it gets any warmer, like, it's usually in the 80s in my room. I can also move my keyboard to be a little closer. Dragonite looks dumb. Are you joking or just, like, adding to the fire of people just being weird right now? Dragonite has the perfect balance of being adorable and badass. I really just didn't get an encounter on that game. Never had such insane luck. Yeah, that is crazy. 40 minutes? Or 20 minutes? You said 20 minutes. $55.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy. I'd actually honestly be cold at that point, but I'd rather be cold in my room than hot in my room. Also, I keep forgetting that I can actually control all 4 of these games at the same time, and I'm just not used to it yet. I need to, like, angle these just slightly. You love it shiny, not the face? That's just incorrect. And it's funny because most people actually don't like the shiny. I like shiny Dragonite, but it's far from my favorite shiny. You never encountered a shiny in Hoenn? I found a random shiny Zubat, a random shiny Shuppet, a random shiny Trapinch, a random shiny Makahita. I hunted and got shiny Shuppet, shiny Geodude again, shiny Graveler again, shiny Torkoal, Shiny Numel, Shiny Numel again, Shiny Numel again, Shiny Numel again, Shiny Numel again, Shiny Machop, Shiny Machop again, Shiny Machop again, Shiny Grimer. And then in ORAS, I got Shiny Numel again. And then I did, in terms of full odds, I did Trico, Swablu. I think that's it. I think that's all my Hoenn, like, full odds hunting, at least. You're not being weird, you take that back? I'm not talking about you. Using a Lucky Eggs hat, you're allowed to be a little weird and tease. Alright, you got me there. Oh yeah, it's winter for you? Yeah, yeah. What, you know, am I like off? Like, why did I run from that? Yeah, green shinies get a bad rep. I will say there's a bit too many green shinies, but most of them are not bad. Like, most of them are not bad. Some of them are pretty bad though, I will say. But the ones that people hate are the ones that are like, honestly look the coolest of the green shinies. Like, people hate on, like, shiny Espeon and shiny, Ursaring, which, like, blows my mind, because those are some of the best green shinies. And I think Nidoqueen is a super underrated shiny. Everyone just sees Nidoking, and, like, here's the thing. Nidoking is a better shiny than Nidoqueen by quite a bit. I will not deny that. But people only see that, and they just associate Nidoking being better, and they're like, well, Nidoqueen's trash because of it. Nidoqueen's an awful shiny because Nidoking's better, and that's just not true at all. Nidoqueen is a really cool shiny. It's just a little bit outclassed by Nidoking. Bye, Vec. Thank you for hanging out. I did not find the Mew. Nope, Mew will only be done on stream, so if you don't see a VOD or something of me getting it, I did not get it. You love shiny Espeon and Nidoqueen is awful? It's not awful. It's just Nidoking's better. Sometimes gross colors work so well on shinies, and I think it works so well on shiny Nidoqueen. Same thing with, like, Mischievous. Mischievous and Mismagius. They're like these kind of gross green colors, but they work so well on the Pokemon. You did find shiny Abra, though? He teleported? Wait, were you the one who said, Oh, in Hoenn. You're talking about in Hoenn? I was gonna say, were you the one who said you hunted shiny Abra? Because I just assumed, Game Corner. You defend shiny Nidoqueen? Shiny Nidoqueen deserves to be defended. There are some shinies that people are just objectively wrong hating. Some are valid though. I think people are objectively wrong when they say Garchomp's the worst shiny of all time. Like, Garchomp ain't even a bad shiny, it's just disappointing compared to the rest of the line. Like, it's not a good shiny, it's just not an awful shiny, and people are like, act like it's the worst shiny of all time. When it's like, brother, have you seen Igglybuff and Ceruledge? And Galarian Farfetch'd? Garchomp's way cooler than those ones. Everyone can hate Golden Ghost Shiny. Golden Ghost Shiny looks a lot better in Home. It's just Scarlet and Violet's, like, weird, realistic approach kind of loses it. It's not a good shiny by any means. But it actually is noticeable with the Home sprite. Apparently shiny Espeon was a bit white and had blue gem in the beta. No, it wasn't a beta. I think that's just Stadium's shiny Espeon. Pokemon Stadium and then also Pokemon Coliseum and XD have like different shinies than the mainline games. Disagreements happen all the time. Well, it's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another thing to have a wrong opinion. I can understand people being like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of shiny Nidoqueen. But to say it's completely awful is just, like, wild to me. Because it actually looks really good in that green color. Shiny Buzzwole is gross looking green shiny. It's not a gross green shiny, it's just boring because it's only one part of it that changes to green. Which is a trope that I hate that they do, and they do it all the time in like modern games. It's so annoying. They take one part of a Pokemon, change it, and call it a day for the shiny. It's so lazy. The only shiny that I genuinely think pulls it off is Scorch. But even then, I'd still prefer if they changed a little bit more of it. Okay, I need to start, like, actually running from these Heart Gold Soul Silver games before encountering in Fire Red Leaf Green. So you Nidoqueen is the worst? See, that's just objectively wrong. That's just incorrect. You can't say Nidoqueen is the worst shiny when there's, like look through all the shinies. Because there are some abysmal ones. Especially in, like, Scarlet and Violet. There is no way Nidoqueen is even remotely close. Even if you dislike Nidoqueen, there's no way you can say it's the worst shiny of all time. That's just factually incorrect. That's not even a matter of opinion. You're just wrong at that point. Being a great shiny is the wrong opinion. Okay, well, I understand disagreeing on that regard. I think it's a great shiny. You don't have to agree with me. And some people might just like it, but not love it. And I understand people not liking it. But to say it's the worst shiny of all time is that's just wrong. That's just completely wrong. You would call Ceruledge worse? Ceruledge is arguably the worst shiny. For me, it's between Ceruledge and Igglybuff. I'm not sure which one is, like, worse. Because, like, it's one thing when a shiny's, like, bad. It's another thing when a shiny, like, makes me angry. And Igglybuff and Ceruledge make me angry, and I actually have reasons for it. Which is why they're, like, both, like, worse shinies for me, but I can't decide which one's worse. Did you forget about the hat? No, I just wanted to get, like, going with some encounters first. Before I worried about putting this thing on my head. You love shiny Espeon while many hate it. Yeah, I don't understand why people don't like Espeon. I get, like, not liking green shinies, but I feel like some of them people don't like just because they're green, even if the green works really well and is, like, a cool green color. Like, and, like, the same thing with, like, Dragonite. Like, I understand Dragonite, and, like, I will agree. The shade of green they used for shiny Dragonite is not the best shade of green. I like it in the sense where, like, I think the purple wings look cool. But, like, the green shade they use is just not great. But I do like that it is, like, a drastic change from the normal colors. But it is not the best shiny, and I understand why people don't like shiny Dragonite. But, like, some green shinies are, like incredible. Like, I think Ursaring is an incredible shiny, and people hate it just because it's green. Like, they don't even have a reason. They're just like, oh, it's green, it looks bad. Like, there's just, like, a negative stigma towards green shinies, and people have to, like, jump on that bandwagon. You like Shiny Scizor? Yeah, Shiny Scizor's another one that's, like, it's such a cool shiny, and people hate it just because it's green, and it's, like, easy to just, like, hate on green shinies for no reason. You don't like neon green? You don't hate shiny Espeon, but neon colors minus orange just not it for me. Espeon is not neon. Neon is more of, like, a yellowish green. Think of, like, a tennis ball. The color of, like, a tennis ball is like neon. Honestly, low-key, the color of the yolk in this egg. You can see it. I don't know which way I'm supposed to be facing, though. That is not Espeon's color. But I get not liking neon colors. But Espeon ain't neon. Scrafty is a banger? No, I don't... Scrafty's okay. It's better than Scraggy shiny, but I've never been, like, blown away by Scrafty shiny. Shiny Poliwrath is really cool. Weirdly, Armor's shiny blue eyes makes up for the tiny bit, but come on, it's the eye change. Yeah, that's why I don't regard Cerulege, or sorry, I don't regard Armarouge as the worst shiny of all time, but I regard Cerulege as. The blue on Armarouge actually looks good. It's just a terrible shiny overall. Yeah, like they committed some shiny crimes in Gen 9. It's really sad. It's like they just wanted to either be lazy with it or wanted to see how far they could push before like fans got angry with them. The green and blue shinies are some of your favorites. I'm a sucker for blue shinies, but there's some blue shinies I don't really like. It depends on the blue. I think many don't like green shinies because there are a lot of green ones. Yeah, and I'll agree with that. Like, there's a lot of green shinies, and it gets a little old, but a lot of them are just okay. Some are really good, and then some are bad, but, like, you know. I just think, like, overall, it gets a bad rap. Like, I know there's a lot in Gen 1. I want to go through all the shinies in Gen 1. Like, I guess Bulbasaur's one. Like, Bulbasaur's just okay. I'll go through all the shinies in Gen 1 and, like, actually point out bad shinies. Because, like, you got ones like the Bulbasaur line. Those aren't bad shinies. Like, Kakuna and Beedrill, those aren't bad. Fearo's kind of bad. I understand when people say they don't like shiny Fearow. I don't mind it. It's like whatever, but, you know, it's not great. It's not a good shiny. Like, Ekans is cool. Sanshrew's cool. We've already discussed Nidoqueen. I think it's really cool. Zubat and Golbat are cool shinies. The Oddish line are cool shinies. Like, I understand. Okay, Mankey and Primeape aren't that good. So, like, we're talking, like, out of the, like, 15 green shinies I've already named off, only, like, 3 of them have been bad. Machoke is incredible. Machamp's cool. I guess if you want to count Weepinbell as a green shiny, that one's really bad. But Victory Bell's cool. I don't think I'm gonna count Tentacool or Tentacruel. Doduo and Dodrio look good. Grimer and Muck look good. Onyx is kind of neither here nor there, honestly. Like, it kind of looks good, but also kind of looks bad at the same time. Kingler's cool. Cubone and Marowak are cool shinies. Honestly, Hitmonlee's not bad. Tangela's good. Chansey's good. Scyther, that's not really because it's green. It's more just it doesn't change a ton. I think Mr. Mime looks good, though. Tauros looks better in older gens, but still is fine in later gens. Jolteon, I'm not the biggest fan of. But it's not awful. Kabuto and Kabutops are pretty good. Mewtwo's pretty good. Dragonite's alright. Like, yeah, there's a lot of green shinies, but literally only, 3 to, 5 of all of them are, actually bad. You know? But, people see, dude, it's so crazy to me that people dislike shiny Espeon and Ursaring and Scizor. People will use those as examples as to, why green shinies are bad, and it's just, so wrong. Because, you could literally be let's see. What's, a really bad green shiny? Oh, okay, do you know what's actually one of my least favorite shinies that's green? Is, Tranquil. But it's not because it's green, per se. It's because it just is, a filter. It's just a bad filter over it. And I hate shinies that look like they have bad filters over them. Tranquil is that... a low-key Beautyfly is that too, but Beautyfly pulls it off a little better. I've never been the biggest fan of shiny Beautyfly, but I don't necessarily dislike it. Tranquil, I don't like Tranquil shiny, at all. It's just, bad green filter. So, when people say they, hate green shinies, use that as an example. Don't be using Ursaring and Scizor and Espeon, because you're not gonna prove your point at all. You like Tranquil shiny? That's wild. And it's not even the only thing about Tranquil that's redeemable is it gets purple eyebrows. Right? Doesn't it get purple eyebrows? Yeah, its eyebrows and feet turn purple. But like, I kid you not, I actually in like Adobe Illustrator took a translucent green square and put it over a regular Tranquil, and it looked identical to the shiny Tranquil outside of the eyebrows and feet. Like, they actually just put a green filter over it and then tweaked like the eyebrows and stuff. Like, that's literally it. And it does not look good. Shiny Lugia is mad. That's kind of a hot take. That is kind of a hot take. I think a lot of people like Shiny Lugia. Most pink water Pokemon are bland. Yeah, that's honestly a better example. Like, there's so many blue water Pokemon that turn pink when they're shiny. Pink, like that pinkish purple color. Like, you got the entire Mudkip line. You got the Quagsire. You got the Whalmer line. You got the, like, Sharpedo turns that color. You know, like, there's so many of them. And that gets boring. I feel like there isn't a lot of red shinies. Yeah, there really isn't. There's not a ton of red shinies. There's more in later gens, but not much. Your worst shiny is Gengar. It's great in the 19th movie, more like a gray blue, but it's not doing justice in the games. Yeah, dude, it's so annoying too because shiny Gengar looked better when regular Gengar's purple was like a little more reddish purple. Like, it was more noticeable. It was never a great shiny though. But yeah, it's weird. Like, in spin-off games and whatnot, they make shiny Gengar so much better by like making it like a silvery blue color. It's like, why don't they just do that in the mainline games? You're mostly full odds hunting grass type Pokemon. Good luck. I mean, it's more about the color difference of the original. I hate shinies that more change saturation than different color. I'm checking a ball. This execute. Run, run, run. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. See, because now when we find a shiny, we're have the exact same odds of it running. So it didn't really do anything. Name a water type from Gen 3 that's not pink. Surskit. Carvana. Carvana's an incredible shiny. And like Sharpedo's not bad. It's just like that whole theme is a little overdone. Meryl's not Gen 3, but Azurill is also not a water type, so neither of those count. You like golden shinies the most? I think golden shinies are good, but a lot, like, it's a little overdone. It's a little overdone. But for the most part, they're good. Yeah, Tranquil is so random coming from Pidove, yeah. And like Unpheasant is like not even close. Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider in MCU. Interesting. Didn't know they were even working on a Ghost Rider movie. Do you think the pink shinies are determined by algorithms? There is evidence to suggest both ways. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that like Gen 1 through 5 shinies were just random color swaps with some exceptions. But there also is evidence to support that they actually designed every shiny, so I don't know. Really don't know. Wonder if the shinies are just made random like totally others. Yeah, there is always like a theory that there's like a random color swap, and I think that's definitely a lot more like realistic to assume in Gen 2. Especially because they already like changed some shinies from Gen 2, like Charizard and whatnot, and like Cyndaquil. Which Cyndaquil was a crime that they changed. But like, yeah, it's like, why would they change some of these shinies if they already, like, if they designed them specifically already? Yeah, Carvana shiny is honestly one of like the greatest shinies of all time. And it's like, Sharpedo's not a bad shiny. It's just nowhere near on the same level as Carvana. There are plenty of Gen 3 shiny water Pokemon that aren't pink and purple. I don't know about plenty, but there are definitely a few. Oh yeah, Kyogre's one of the blue ones that turn like pink purple. It's a big one. Oh, Huntail and Gorbis are... Well, Gorbis is pink, so that doesn't really count. But Huntail turns green. And Clamperl also turns purple, so that doesn't really... It doesn't really help us there. Your favorite shinies are the black ones? I think only a handful of black shinies are really cool. And the rest are just okay. Like, I think Camerup's really cool. I think Rayquaza's really cool. And I think... Charizard's really cool. But, like, when we're making, like, Furfrou black just for the sake of making it black, I'm just like, oh, you know what? Sandygast and Palossand are really cool, too. But, like, you know, like, the Tapus. I think Tapu Koko is a great shiny, but because of the orange they used to coincide with the black, I'm not the biggest fan of Tapu Lele shiny or Tapu Bulu shiny. Tapu Fini's alright. Sometimes it's about, like, the accent colors that really make a shiny. Imagine Shiny Kyogre being black. It's not hard to imagine at all because Shiny Kyogre is black when it is primal. Leopard is an all-time favorite. Yeah, Leopard's a really cool shiny. Rare, red shiny. You don't really see too many of those. Don't forget Minior. Minior, I'm like hit or miss with Minior. Because on one hand, I would have thought it would be really cool if they did give every shiny its own, like, color. Like they had in Home originally. But, like, I get why they make the shiny Minior black. Like, it makes sense, and it looks pretty good on it. Black Poodles exist? I know, I understand that. But, like, the idea is, like, oh, this Pokemon's white, so let's make it black as the shiny. You know? It would have been cooler if they had different colors based on their trims. That would have been cooler. Because, like, when you have a Pokemon that has, like, white, which is essentially no color, the obvious choice is to make the shiny black, which is, like, all the colors combined. And to me, that just screams like we didn't really try too hard for this. You know? Black looks cool with all the trim colors. It does with some of them. I don't know about all of them. Like, I don't really think the Dabutanti or whatever it's called looks very good with the black. The Kabuki looks pretty cool, though. And so does the Dandy. What about the legendary birds? So legendary birds, and I'm going to talk about the Kanto ones, not the Galarians. Articuno is the... none of the shinies are, like, amazing. I will say that. Articuno is actually pretty good as a shiny, but it's not, like, incredible. Articuno is an example of a more subtle shiny that actually works well, because it, like, fits the theme. Zapdos shiny is just boring, and Moltres shiny, this might be considered a hot take. I typically like the shinies more that change more, but I think Moltres is the worst of the three shinies, like, by far. Zapdos is just boring. Moltres' shiny is actually disgusting. Like, it looks so disgusting. It's like raw flesh chicken with, like, those orange flames. And all they needed to do was make the flames, like, red and pink, and it would have been so much better. It would have just, like, it's just a weird color pink they chose, and they didn't change the color of the flames. And the color of those flames look awful against the shade of pink they chose. Moltres is one of my least favorite Kanto shinies. I mean, it's not like... Zapdos isn't much higher than it, but... Zapdos isn't that good either, but, you know. And then the Galarians. I think Articuno is probably the best one. Galarian. Moltres is okay. Zapdos is pretty bad. I hate that trope. That is one of my least favorite tropes of the shiny designs. where they take a regional variant and they make the shiny the non-shiny of the non-regional variant, and it's just so lazy and doesn't look cool. The only one I think like actually makes sense to do it was the Alolan Grimer and Muck, because their normal colors were the colors of shiny Grimer and Muck, so it makes sense to like swap them around. But then you get ones like Stunfisk and like the Galarian Birds and like Hisuian Decidueye, and like they're all just so mid to terrible. Like this, they're not great. They're just it's so boring. It just comes off as lazy, and it's just like I don't know. It's bad. Shiny Moltres is literally on fire. The take can't be hotter than that. True. Golden Go is the worst shiny of all time. It's definitely down there, but it is not my least favorite shiny. And also, look at the home sprite. It's a lot more noticeable in home. It's actually not awful in home, but it's still a bad shiny. Shiny Moltres literally being raw chicken being cooked. It looks terrible. And all they needed to do is change the flame colors to, like, work better with that pink, and they just didn't. Gorbis is orange? You might need to get your eyes checked. Because Gorbis is a very, like... It's like a dandelion yellow. Be like, look at non-shiny Krabby. That is what I would consider orange. Gorbis ain't orange. Would you also consider this Execute hat orange? Blue flames would be cool. Not on the pink body. I don't think, like, not everything needs to be blue or black or white or gold. Like, sometimes it's just some shinies look terrible, but could have, like, just a subtle change to them, making them look really cool. I still think, like, with Gengar, all they need to do is make the inside of the mouth and the eyes blue, and it's already, like, so much cooler of a shiny. And it's, like, it's just, like, a small change. It's actually a very yellow-orange. I don't really... If you're saying it's a very yellow-orange, that just means it's a slightly orange-yellow, so, like, you're kind of proving my point, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely yellow. The fins on Huntail are orange. They're kind of tough. That one's a little tougher. Like, I wouldn't regard shiny Latias as yellow. I wouldn't regard shiny I wouldn't regard Latias as orange and Luvdisc as orange. And they're very similar to Gorbis. If you're saying Gorbis' shiny is a very yellow orange, that literally just means it's a slightly orange yellow. So it's yellow. But I understand when people see a little bit of orange in it, because yes, it like varies slightly. But it's not really an orange color. What do you think about the shinies that are almost the same as the original form? For example, Persian. Some are fine, some are bad. I think overall they're mostly not good, but some of them are like okay. Just depends on like what they do with the accent colors and whatnot. That is 20% less orange and 15% more yellow. Does that even add up? Funny enough about Shiny Execute is that it actually gets a lot more orange in the later games, but I elected to make mine more of the yellow color. Except for Let's Go. For some reason, Execute in Let's Go is still like bright yellow shiny, but like every other 3D game, it's like a lot more like orange, almost like a bronzish color. Your favorite shiny is Seal. That is definitely a hot take. Seal's not terrible though. Dugong's definitely the worst offender of that. And also, Seal and Dugong shinies are a lot better in the modern games than in the older games. Sometimes it depends on like what games we're talking about. Because obviously, like, Garchomp shiny is not bad in the later games. It just has a bad rap and it's a disappointing shiny. But in the older games, it is it is a lot less noticeable of a shiny in like the Gen 4 games. So like sometimes that is a part of the thing. Like that's part of the issue. Shinies do change like slightly across all the different games. Shiny Moltres has green. I mean, it depends on what they do with the flames. That could arguably be better or worse than what we have. Pre-safari hunting? Not really pre-safari hunting because I'll be missing the last 4 days of safari week, so I'm doing it early. Just to get like the same amount in. Execute is a yellow-orange color. You call Gorbis around the same color. If we're talking through, are we looking at homes? Like, what are we looking at? Because Shiny Execute is very inconsistent across the games. Because if we're talking home sprites, Execute is significantly more orange than Gorbis. Significantly. Also, by the way, guys, I have insanely good vision and I'm very good at differentiating colors, so I hate to be that guy, but usually what I say is the more accurate representation. Shiny Gabumon being really cool. Is that a Digimon? There's only a couple Digimon I actually know the names of. Just a quick Google search, I guess. I would say, like, go through, like, different sprites and stuff. What I do is I just search up all shiny Pokemon, and then there's, like, Pokemon DB is usually the first result, and just has every home sprite of them. And I always have to, like, acknowledge that, you know, like, some shinies aren't consistent throughout the whole series, so... But I'll like, specify, like, what sprite I'm looking at. So look at, like, Shiny Execute compared to Shiny Gorbis. Okay, I take it back. It's not significantly more orange, but it's noticeably more orange than Gorbis. Like, Execute still has the slight yellowish to it, but it's a lot more orange in the home sprite. And just the modern games. I threw beta this one. I feel like a really underrated shiny is Arbok. Shiny Arbok is really cool. I don't know if it's like underrated. I just think people don't... Well, maybe that's what underrated means, but like people just don't typically think about it, you know? I feel like if anyone sees Shiny Arbok, they'd probably agree that it's like a really cool shiny. But it is not like a shiny that gets brought up very often. You just call those shinies gold and call it a day? Like, honestly, that's fair. Now, is Arbok orange to you? No. Are you... Spheel, you're clearly not looking at the same Execute sprite as I am. Shiny Execute is very yellow in, like, every game until Gen 6. And then it's, like, a lot more orange in Gen 6 through current outside of Let's Go. It's, like, pretty yellow in Let's Go again. Dude, I would know. I looked at a lot of freaking images of Shiny Execute when I was making this hat, just to, like, figure out what I wanted to reference. I ultimately decided to not do as bright of a yellow as it was in older games, but I didn't want to make it orange, so... I think the color I chose was pretty good. Best snake is Shiny Seviper. I used to love Shiny Seviper, and it's a good shiny, but I'm I don't really love it the way I did before. You will go to competitive with shiny Arbok. It's worth it. Just to like flex it or something? I'm not following. Arbok is orange to you? Are you serious? No way. Arbok's a lot less orange than Execute. It's more of like a dirty yellow. I would say it's bronze. Arbok is a kind of like a very bronze color, where it's almost like a brownish yellow, like kind of like a dirty yellow. I don't see orange in that at all, though. So I think you just see things as more orange than they only are. But I mean, like, everyone sees color differently. Everyone sees color slightly different. So crazy are able to notice shiny Slowpoke from afar in Scarlet. Yeah, see, exactly. That's how I know that if we're debating shiny colors, I'm usually the one who's right. Because I'm very good at differentiating colors from each other. I notice even the most subtle shinies right away. As much as I hate shiny Igglybuff, I noticed it shiny right away when I found one. You won't win, but it's about making a statement. Interesting. Hope I don't go over odds for the third hunt in a row. Wait, third? Or technically fourth if we include Bidoof. Oh, I gotta update my, Hold on. Let me do this really quick. I think it's these ones. I removed these ones. I added all the, like, Hoenn Safari Zone shinies to this list. And we're not doing Hoenn anymore, so... You know? I don't want to be advertising that we're hunting for shiny Pikachu and Oddish when we physically can't get them right now. A lot of Assassin's Creed crossover Magic the Gathering cards were revealed today. Interesting. Again, I've never played Magic the Gathering, and I've never, like, collected it. I know they do, like, crossovers a lot, though. Which I, like, didn't like, know that was a thing. That's kind of cool, though. Arbok used Glare on opponent, loses match due to losing time being paralyzed. You just want to talk about it? The thing is, I just don't know if I could really add much to the conversation about Magic cards, because I just don't know anything about them. How long will I stream today? Probably for like another 40 minutes or so. I would have been on earlier, but I had to finish setting up this game because it got restarted. Here's one to surprise you. You never played Uno. Don't even know how it works. It's like a children's game, so you would be able to figure it out really easily. It's literally just you match colors and numbers until you're out of cards, and you try to get out of your card. Like, that's literally, you try to lose all your cards as fast as possible. Or like, just want to mention it because you think you will cool and you want others to know. Oh, nice. Yeah, I get that. I get that. You never played Uno? I mean, it's really easy. It's literally just you match, like, there's like a thing in the middle that's like, it's like a color number card. And you can either play the same number or the ssame color on it. And you just do that until you run out of cards. And you have to try to run out of cards first. And there's like different cards, like there's draw fours, there's wild cards that you can like pick what color you want. And stuff like that. So you can like use other cards to try to strategize like how to mess up the other players so that you get out first. But a lot of it is luck because you don't know what the other players have or what they're gonna play. Yeah, the execute hat. Where did I get the 3 GBA SPs? This one, I think I got for Christmas back when I was like 8 years old. This one I bought off eBay, this one I bought off eBay, but these were also like years ago. I just got double Venomoth. Ever played 52 card pickup? Not unironically. Actually, I don't know if I've ever actually played it. I think someone would like make a joke about playing it and then like throw the cards on the ground and then like they just end up picking it up. Three Fire Reds were eBay or did you get them years back? I only have 2 Fire Reds. This one my friend gave me because it's a fake copy. This one I bought on GameStop for 30 bucks. And this leaf green I bought on GameStop for 35, I think. And then the leaf green on the far right I bought on eBay for like 40. But this was like this was before the market went down the drain. And it was actually pretty easy to buy games for cheap back then. Yeah, I can trade with the fake one. I did have an issue where I like dropped it and then it like when I tried to play it, it like didn't get read properly and then it deleted the save file. So I had to frantically like play through it. And now I'm like a little worried, but I'm going to try to do everything I can to make sure that like that can't happen again. Because the cartridge itself works fine. I just don't want to have like an issue like that. But what was really weird is that like the game like deleted the save file because it like didn't get read properly. Like it did that like crazy glitch sound when you're like playing it and then it like froze. But I've had that game do that before and it never deleted the save file until like the other day. So it could have just been like a really unlucky random thing. Why are you playing with a fake copy? Is the Pokemon even transferable? Yeah, it's transferable. There's a difference. Well, okay. Like, it's... The Pokemon are not, like, hacked in. It's just the game is poorly made. Like... You know? Fakes can trade with real cartridges, but not fake though. Yeah, it's kind of like random. I got really lucky with this fake copy. The only thing I can't do with it is put it in a DS. If I try to use it in a DS, it'll always delete the save file. But I can like trade with it. I can do anything with it, anything I need to. So pretty good. But because, like, I may have, like, damaged this copy and I'm worried about it, like, deleting, I did buy an authentic copy of Fire Red that's Japanese to replace it if I need to. I don't know when that's coming in, though. Where's the blue cat? Safari Week happened. I had to put on hold. I was pretty clear about that. I was saying earlier, it's going to be the new when is Safari Week question that I'm going to have to answer 500 times. I thought I made it pretty clear in stream that I was trying to get the Shiny Mew before Monday, and if it didn't happen, I would just put it on hold. I'm gonna have to put a banner up that says, "No, I did not get shiny Mew for until Safari Week's over." The ROM of the official game is dumped on a cheap board and reproduced in a counterfeit cartridge, correct? Yes. That's how it works. Yeah, the prices are really high unless you buy Japanese copies. Japanese copies are like reasonably priced. Yeah, I know the blue cat is cool, but I wasn't gonna use it as an excuse to completely miss Safari Week. That's ridiculous. I'll just get back to it when I'm done. I would have preferred to get it before Safari Week, but you know, some things just happen the way you don't want them to happen. It's just you got to deal with it. That's just life. Like, I mean, I tried hard. I'm over 17,000 on Mew. Like, there's not really much more I could have done about that. I want to have a good Safari Week. Wasn't gonna just like waste all of it trying to go for Mew, because like the Mew encounters are slow. $60 to $80, even $100 for a Fire Red copy. Nah, Fire Red, English Fire Red is like well over $100 now. I was actually looking at Fire Red prices to try to find an English one, and they were all like listed as like 130, 150. No, I'll just participate in Safari Week the 1 week out of the year it's available, and then hunt the blue cat any other time that I can on my own time. I don't want to shiny on Celebi, but those Gen 2 odds are rough. They're the same as Gen 3, 4, and 5 odds, so they're not that bad at all. 18192 is not as bad as everyone thinks it is. It's really not bad at all. The only time it's really bad is if you go like double, triple odds, which doesn't happen super often, unless you're me. But for most people, it doesn't happen very often. You have a fake emerald, it has glitch sound trade. Like, that's all I need to be fine. Just did not mean to go down. You can find cheaper games for other languages. Yeah, but the cheapest are gonna be Japanese. So it's like if you can't understand the language regardless, just buy the cheapest option. First full odds showed up at 22,043. My first full odds showed up at nearly 25,000. But that was my longest ever hunt for years. Like I did a lot of hunts and didn't even come close to that number. And then if I did come close, I never surpassed it until Geodude happened. Okay, I'm like super off. I need to like run from these before getting encounters on the other games. You got both bonus disc for you got both the bonuses for Coliseum from eBay. How much were they? You buy authentic games on Marketplace. The issue with Marketplace is that most people don't offer shipping, and it's very hard to find ones that are actually near you, that are like a good, like well priced. But sometimes you get some good deals. Like I won't deny it. Just eBay's a little more consistent. Okay, just your own normal animator. If you're gonna say don't ask about the price that you paid for those discs, I don't know why you're saying you got lucky then, because that implies you didn't. It's not hard to find listings for those discs online. Getting lucky would be, oh, I got them for a steal. Went to those toy fairs and managed to get a leaf green for 10 bucks on a toy box. Thought it was fake. Turns out it was legit. So happy that day. Yeah, that was me with it wasn't like a fair or anything, but like on eBay like a while ago. My main platinum and this Heart Gold Soul Silver, these two, all of them were like 10 to 15 bucks. I don't really remember. I think that the Heart Gold Soul Silvers were 15 each and the platinum was 10. And it wasn't until like years later when I started buying, like I bought them assuming they were fake. And it wasn't until years later I bought other fake platinums and realized they felt way more cheaper than my original one. And then I did some research, and it turns out my main platinum and my Heart Gold Soul Silver are all authentic, and I just got them for extremely cheap. Because even though it was years ago, like Heart Gold Soul Silver still went easily for over like 60, 70 bucks. And I got them for like 15 bucks each. Looks like six is faster. Yeah, I kind of figured. It's not even just because like... Why is it... Doesn't this look shiny almost? It's not. Sometimes this game messes with my perception. Like, not only is it, like, hard to get used to the 7 games at once, but it's like with the 3 Game Boys lined up, I can do it in a faster manner anyway. So yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking, like, change to, because I recall, like, last year, like, if I was locked in, I could get, like, easily, like, 1,500 an hour. And when we were doing 7 games, I was getting, like... What was it? It was, like, 900 in an hour or something? It was, like, completely less. You want to participate in Safari Week for the first time this year? Good luck. It's really scary at first, but once you realize everyone else is failing shinies, it's kind of a good time. And sometimes you get really lucky and just like catch a bunch, and it's kind of like crazy going through like your spoils for the week. Like even though you fail some shinies, you'll be like, wait, I actually caught like 5 shinies in a week. Like, and then you realize just like it's crazy. Exactly for $5, scratch that over 400. Yeah, I don't know if you got lucky. You just found a listing for them. You basically bought Coliseum in English. That's $100. Bonus disc in English will cost you another $100. Almost the same as the Japanese one. I think Coliseum is over 150 nowadays for English. You want to play Coliseum, but you need a GameCube? The GameCube is the least of your worries. What you should be worried about is getting Coliseum. GameCube, you could I think you can buy GameCubes for like 60 bucks. Coliseum's gonna run you more than double that. Peak Direct. It was pretty good. There wasn't anything like crazy for me though. There's been rumors for like a really long time now that they were gonna port the HD remakes of Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess on the Switch, and I just kept hoping for that, and it's never happened. I don't think it's happening. You say it ain't so bad you go after your Yveltal Hunts. The odds? Are you the one talking about Celebi? Yeah, no, go for it. Honestly, like, even with, like, rough odds and stuff, sometimes there's something that needs to be said about, like, getting one really special shiny versus, like, a bunch of, like, not so special shinies, you know? I've been toying with that idea. I've been toying with the idea of going for Manaphy, because even though it'd be like an awful hunt to do, once it's done, it's done. And if like I have a shiny Manaphy, that's gonna be like my favorite shiny I've ever had. As opposed to just like spending years going for a bunch of shinies that don't mean as much to me. I don't think you're gonna have time to reach any Safari Zone on any of your games you recently bought. It only took me 5 hours for Fire Red. I think Ruby Sapphire probably around the same time. You definitely have more than 5 hours before Safari Weekend, so I think you're chilling. I don't know how long it takes to get to the Heart Gold Soul Silver Safari Zone though. Welcome the Shinies. Currently got you on the TV in the background while you reset for female Bulbasaur on red. Nice. Good luck. Mario and Luigi, Dragon Quest III, Zelda, Mario Party, and Metroid are your top picks you're happy with. Mario and Luigi looks pretty cool. I've only ever played Bowser's Inside Story, which I did enjoy. I just don't know if I'm like ready to rush into like the next. It's not really a series I've been like looking for, you know. But the Zelda game looks cool. Completely missed opportunity. They didn't name it Legend of Link. That would have been hilarious if they named it The Legend of Link. But it makes me want to like go and get the Link's Awakening remake because it almost looks like it's like a sequel to that because it's like the same exact art style. Shiny Selby blessed you and showed up in only 5 days of hunting it. That's the last mythical you can actually shiny hunt. Nice. That's another thing. It's like the odds might be scary, but you could also get really lucky. I mean, I got a couple full odds like 1 in 8, 1 9 2 shinies in less than 100 encounters. It's unlikely, but it like, you know, even going like a few thousand isn't bad. Like I feel like a lot of 1 in 8, 1 9 2 shinies show up in like the 3 to 6,000 range. And that's like, you know, that's not much different than a 1 in 40 96. 1 in 40 96 is like barely any different than 1 in 8 1 9 2. The only time you notice the odds is when you go way over odds, and that's like for any hunt. Been playing the series since the very beginning. You're very happy for Brothership. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Nintendo's been like going crazy with the remakes. Even when we were like, when I was watching like some of those trailers, I was like, "Oh, is this another remake?" Like you just like don't know at first now because they've done so many remakes. Where I get the Execute hat, I made it from scratch. This is not something you can buy. If it's $900, you'll buy it. That's tempting if you were to buy it from me for $900, but I don't know if I would want to like make another one. Because it did not cost much to make, but it was the problem solving, figuring it out, and like sewing it together and stuff to get like the details and whatnot that took a decent amount of time. Like it wasn't even like, it didn't even take like realistically that long to make. It was just a lot of work. $2,000. Honestly, I would make one for $2,000 for you. But it's not like professionally made. Like I made it myself. Like it's there's flaws in it. There'd also be issues with like the sizing. I had to keep like tightening it to make it so that it fit my head and didn't like slide through. Apparently there's a new event happening in a few weeks, which has Meltan time to research possible shiny hunt. Yeah, I mean, they usually release shiny Meltan once a year. It's probably around that time they do it again. It's like the anniversary of Pokemon Go. Yeah, the execute hat is priceless. I would definitely consider like making one for someone for $2,000 though. I'm pretty sure it only cost me like, I think overall it was like $31 to make. Or like $32. The issue is I'm not professional. So you'd have to be like certain that you'd be fine, even if it's not exactly clear cut, one-for-one carbon copy of the one I have. Like, there's definitely flaws in this one. Sewing is basically a form of torture. Yeah, honestly. It's fine to, like, make something that you sewed together, but to do it a second time, it's like, I don't know. Like, I know I just did it once, and it wasn't bad, but to, like, the thought of doing it again is like... Ugh, again? I found any of my desired targets yet. There is this big thing on the bottom of the layout that says wins and fails. Unless you're referring to hunts I did before this. In which case, I did get Dratini. What's up, Todd? Welcome back. Thank you for the shiny luck. You want a Whimsicott merch because he's your boy? Is there not like a sitting cutie of Whimsicott? They just did all of the sitting cuties for Kalos. I would have assumed they have them for like the previous generations. Unless you already have that and you just want more. You'll spend it all for the single hat. I mean, if you're willing to spend $2,000 for a hat that I make unprofessionally, that will most definitely have some flaws in it, I guess hit me up and we might be able to work something out. You have no idea. Just go on the official Pokemon Center site and just search Whimsicott and see what shows up. Oh yeah, there's probably one, but there's a solid chance it's not in stock. You say, yeah, hell no, you don't got money for that? You were the one who suggested that, so I don't know what you're talking about. You literally were throwing numbers out there and, like, all interested, and then as soon as I was like, oh, yeah, I might actually do it, you're like, no, I don't got money for that. Like, then don't make offers, buddy. At that point, you're just trolling. And no one likes trolls. Too bad you can't fish up another until Safari Week's over. I don't need any more. I also got it from the Game Corner. In your opinion on doing 8F glitch at Gen 1 to get Shiny Mew, you don't know the details, you just heard of it. I think it's a little cheesy. And, I mean, it's not legit, but it's legal, so I guess it depends on how you feel about it. But if you want my honest opinion, I don't really agree with people using, like, exploits and stuff to force Pokemon to be shiny. Now, if you're using 8F just to send Mew up, to make it available to be sent up, and then you, like, actually full shiny hunt it, mad respect. I think that's crazy when people do that. That's my honest opinion. Thought you were fishing because it's the most common way to get one. Technically, the most common way to hunt for Dratini in like most of the games is through the game corner. It's in like every game corner. I was fishing in Platinum and Diamond, and I phased on a Gyarados, so I decided to switch over to Heart Gold Soul Silver to do game corner for it. Yeah, we got the Execute hat. I've been doing a thing where like when I find a full odd shiny live for my living decks, I like draw it in the old Ken Sugimori style. And I feel like I've been getting better at the style. Let me show off the 2 drawings I did of Gyarados and Dragonair. Here we go. Can I like make this so that there isn't like the relevant tab? Whatever. What the heck is it? Wait, what? I don't know where this is at. Where is this thing? Why is this not working? There we go. Now it's working. I also rotated it, I guess. Yeah, so I made these. Oh, it's really big. I made this way too big. I was pretty happy with this. There's Gyarados. And then there's Dragonair. So I've been like drawing them as I get them shiny. Alright, let's get rid of this. Those ear wings, though. Yeah, I wanted to do Dragonair with the wings, like, extended, because I feel like that's never really shown off too often. Do you increase your counter for encounters manually? Yes, I do. There are ways you can do auto counters, but I don't know how they work, and I think it's easier for, like, capture carded devices. I don't know how you would do that with, like, a camera. If you're doing it the way I am. The Gary is so accurate. Yeah, I was, like, really proud of the Gyarados. It's a little, like, believe it or not, this is gonna sound weird. It's honestly easier to draw Pokemon that have more detail, or just, like, draw anything that has more detail on it. Because when something has more detail, it's easier to make it look good. When, like, for Dragonair, it's, like, just this, like, long, like, worm thing that has nothing on it, and it's, like, alright, any slight imperfection of, like, oh, the body isn't, like, exactly the same, like, width all around, like, even. It's not, like, you know, like, you see, like, imperfection like that a lot easier. But with, like, Gyarados, because it's, like, segmented, like, none of the segments are, like, perfect, but, like, overall, like, it looks a lot better because it's not, like, it's harder to see the imperfections when there's more detail on something. So I think they both turned out pretty good. Vec is back. Welcome back. Yeah, it's in the anime. I swear there was a card of Dragonair that had its wings extended, but I looked at all the cards and there was not one. Yeah, you probably need a capture card for, like, because the way, like, the auto counters work is that they look at, like, what's on screen. So, like, what people do is they make it it'll increment when it sees like the text like a wild blank appeared, and that's when it'll add it. So I don't know if you'd be able to do that with like a camera. No shiny yet. If there was a shiny yet, it would be on the wins or fails part of the layout. Does make an amount of sense. It's easier to get distracted looking at complicated drawings. It's not even like a distraction thing. It's more just like when something has more detail, it's harder to notice the flaws. Or if there is a flaw in the detail, it's not as significant as a flaw in something that's simple. Like if you're drawing a character that's like a circle, like let's say like Kirby. Obviously Kirby's easier to draw, but if you're drawing it on like a professional level, like the circle's got to be perfect or else it's going to look weird. Two more hours of what? Of shiny hunting for you? Are you hunting for 2 more hours? Because I certainly am not. It is crazy how I started later than I wanted to, and we're still like almost to like half odds already. Thank you for the good luck, Chambles, and welcome in. Doing it manually is fine, provided you don't have anything else messing with you. Yeah, it's harder to do manual counts when you have like multiple hunts going on. So like when I was doing like Mew and Bidoof, my Bidoof counter was just like on my phone, and I just didn't show it on screen because having like 2 separate counters on a program is kind of hard to do because you have to keep like swapping between them. But if you're just doing one hunt, like, you know, adding one at a time is totally fine. Like, it's not hard at all. Wait, how many steps do I have left? 7? 66 on this one. 71 on this one. What was I supposed to end at? How many have we done? We started at 1400. So we have done 1500. So I guess every 1500 might be too much. Every like 1300 we reset. I'll just reset, I guess. Might as well. That one's gonna ding dong anyway. You got those emotes for different streams? Yeah, you can, if you're like subscribed to someone, you can use their emotes in other streams. That is how Twitch works. Yeah, this is a hat. It's kind of like a crown because it doesn't have like a top to it, but you know, it's a headpiece for sure. Go up by 6 per encounter, you're gonna hit odds very quickly. Well, yeah, but it's also Safari Zone. I mean, I did 5 times hunting, not Safari Zone, and it felt significantly slower, so it's not just the 6 games. That does help a lot, but it's also the fact that you don't throw your Pokemon out in battle. That definitely adds up. You're gonna go again? Well, good luck with wherever you're going. Back, thank you for the shiny luck. When you use Sweet Scent to force encounters, it is significantly slower if I do that. Sweet Scent in any game is not like BDSP. BDSP is the only game where Sweet Scent is like viable to get encounters faster, unless you're including horde hunting. It's very slow. I will probably do Sweet Scent when I go for Psyduck in the Safari Zone, because the surfing encounters are really slow. Like, you really only want to do Sweet Scent when the encounter rate is like super slow, and that you would definitely get it faster with the Sweet Scent, but it's very rare you'll be doing a hunt where you would want to use Sweet Scent for the encounters. Because usually just Illuminate and White Flute are going to be faster most of the time. What happened to the 7th game? It was just a little too difficult to keep up with. We're actually more efficient with 6, so I'm gonna stick with 6. I do want to do Hoenn at some point, but there's just still way too many things I need in Kanto. In life, the answer for you is nowhere fast. Unfortunate. Yeah, the only times I've ever like needed a Sweet Scent hunt outside of BDSP and board hunting was the Pokemon Tower in Fire Red Leaf Green. You can't use your bike, you can't even run, and the encounter rate is slow. So like, it's just faster to use Sweet Scent for that. And surfing encounters, I think technically speaking, surfing is probably like similar to Sweet Scent in Fire Red Leaf Green, because it is slow, but it's not like abysmally slow. But in the Safari Zone, you don't want to be wasting all your steps, so it's definitely gonna be more worth it to do Sweet Scent in the Safari Zone for Psyduck. You have to look up where to even get a White Flute in BDSP. There is no White Flute in BDSP. The White Flute got discontinued in Gen 5. Yeah, I mentioned horde encounters a few times. I did indeed say that unless you're in BDSP or doing horde encounters, Sweet Scent's usually not viable. I was like, why is 3K not a round number? Because we started at 1400 when we switched to 6. Thought White Flute changed in ORAS. Well, okay, they brought back the White Flute for ORAS, but it does not. It's useless. It's like a collectible item. Like it doesn't do what you want it for. So it got discontinued in Gen 5 essentially. There must come a shiny soon. I mean, we're not even half odds, so I don't know about must, but I am due for a quick hunt. I'm due for a few quick hunts in a row. Gen 6 is ORAS. Gen 7, there was no... I don't even think Sweet Scent works in Gen 7 at all. I don't think Sweet Scent works in Gen 7 or, like, Sword and Shield. So, no, I definitely meant Gen 6. I didn't say Gen 6. It was Knight that said Gen 6. Or are we still talking about White Flute? I mean, that's still Gen 6, so regardless. And it's not... there's no reason to get the White Flute in Gen 6. Which is a shame. White Flute only helps you in Gen 3 and 4. I'm gonna get to the next multiple of 100 that's like a clean number, and then I'll end. It's actually only 3K for this hunt. I mean, I did just get a Dratini, but Yeah, we are 17,000 in on Miu and 11,000 in on Bidoof still. So we are still indeed due for, like, at least a couple fast hunts. Sweet Scent works in ORAS. Okay, you guys are mixing so many things up. We're talking about white flutes. We had already gone past the Sweet Scent thing, and I have already mentioned that it works in ORAS because it's horde encounters. I explicitly explained, unless it's BDSP or horde encounters, then it's not, like, unless it's those two, it's not usually viable to run Sweet Scent unless you have an insanely low encounter rate without it. You know, the only way to get White Flute and Fire Leaf Green is have Pokemon Ruby Sapphire hold in trade it. Yeah, it's the only way to get it in Fire Red Leaf Green, and arguably, like, works better in Fire Red Leaf Green, which is crazy. Do abilities like Q-Charm and Static work in the Safari Zone? You definitely, if you're in Gen 4, you definitely don't want to run Q-Charm in the Safari Zone. But they do an Emerald. They do an Emerald and BDSP. So yeah, by all means, run them in, like, Emerald and BDSP. Don't run them in Heart Gold Soul Silver. They do out of battle effects do not work for abilities in Fire Red Leaf Green or Ruby Sapphire. It was a feature that got added in Emerald, and then Q-Charm's just bugged in when it comes to shinies in Gen 4. What was my worst phase? 54,400, I think, for a Shuppet going for a Vulpix, and I did not continue after that because I was over it. Did you forge the golden rule of chat? No one pays attention here. Yeah, it's better on Twitch, I will say. I'm still not used to the YouTube chat. YouTube chat's a little different than Twitch, which is kind of weird. Like, you wouldn't think that would be the case because they're just two different sites. My bad, you're barely awake and heard a few snippets of the conversation. It happens. I will not hold it against you. Instructions unclear now, attempting to use White Flute on Sweet Scent in ORAS. Another thing about Sweet Scent is that it does not work with repel tricks. If it did, it'd be insane. Sweet Scent would be used all the time if it worked with repel tricks. How dare I? Dude, it's not me. That's just how it is. It's just reality. Illuminate is better for Gen 4 shiny hunting anyway. I mean, it's good for both. Illuminate and White Flute is insane in Fire Red Leaf Green. Fire Red Leaf Green has the fastest, like, encounter rates outside of overworld shiny games of any mainline game. Is Twitch your home or YouTube? Twitch I prefer as a streaming platform, but YouTube I have, like, a lot more, like, I have a lot larger of a following, and I've been posting videos on YouTube longer than streaming on Twitch. I think YouTube's overall a better platform than Twitch, but Twitch I think is a better streaming platform. You're gonna learn for a presentation tomorrow. You'll come back if you're still on in 1 hour. I will unfortunately not be on in an hour. I'm getting to the last, like, multiple of 100, and then I'm ending. Whatever's, like, a round number. which will be, I believe, 3,200. You should probably breed Volbeat so you can have a level 22 one for Safari Week. That's a good plan. Also, Chinchou work. Oh, well, Chinchou I think you get at higher levels than 22. Chinchou for me is usually the go-to in Hoenn, and then Staryu is the go-to in Kanto for Illuminate. Staryu and Starmie. Twitch was made for streaming. Yeah. Twitch was made for streaming. YouTube, there's like little things I don't like about streaming on YouTube, but the actual biggest issue with streaming on YouTube is that there's no you don't get new eyes on your streams, really. Like, I never get recommended random streams on YouTube, and I just know that no one else does too. Like, when Twitch, it's like as soon as you hit like a few decent amount of viewers on Twitch, you start being seen by new people because your stream is going to be showing up a little more, like near the top. But on YouTube, it's like pretty much it's exclusively subscribers that can like watch my streams, because like no just like random person who isn't subscribed is gonna like stumble upon my stream. It's easier to grow as a streamer on Twitch than on YouTube. YouTube obviously just, it's more about the videos. Oh, I guess I'm doing one extra set of encounters because I did not realize I hit 3,200. You have a level 40 Staryu in your Soul Sora. That's perfect to force only the higher level stuff. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, we're gonna end it here. I will most likely be live tomorrow as well. Hopefully. And we'll be continuing. So that's gonna be it for the stream. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and I will see